guys, I am in the tent and it is like right around just about midnight, so I'm not gonna spend too much time sitting out here. I'm gonna pretty much hit the hay. But anyways, as you can see, I have brought my buddy heater right there to give me some heat tonight. I don't predict it getting too cold. I probably will not run it all night long. I'll probably just use it to warm things up. But nonetheless, yeah, I'm gonna have it help keep me a little bit warmer. I'm gonna get ready for bed, and we'll see you in the morning. Oh, by the way, I did check the weather. It appears that the rain is pretty much done for the day. It's gonna be pretty much clear tonight, and then pick up some raining again tomorrow. So camp's already set up, so what the heck. You might just as well sleep in it. And we'll take it out for another day and check out for water, water resiliency. Well, good morning, guys. Had a great sleep last night. I never actually had to run the heater. It warmed right up. But unfortunately, it didn't rain last night either. Oh well, we got pretty good amount of rain in the afternoon, and I was actually setting the tent up. At least it didn't leak for that, but we will need to do a more thorough rain test on it. I mean, I looked at all the tape seams and stitchings and stuff, and it looks very nice, very good. They've done a good job with all that from what I can see. We don't know because I didn't really get that much rain to see if there's any seepage anywheres. But nonetheless, while my coffee is brewing here, the tea bag Folgers coffee, I have some items that I kind of wrote down that I wanted to go over with you. And let's do that right now. What we'll do is we'll go over the specs on this particular tent. And this tent is classified as a 4th season tent. It is a 1-bedroom, 1 living room, which is actually kind of nice. It's a decent sized tent. I mean, it's very comfortable for like 1 person. You get 2, it's doable, but it could be a little bit crowded. Especially if you didn't have the nylon mesh sleeping area. That would definitely open it up a lot more. And this is removable, so you don't have to have it in there. And there is plenty of screens. For instance, the porch door and this door behind me both have large screens on them, and you do have 2 vents, so you do have quite a bit of ventilation. Unfortunately, because of the lack of a floor, some of the moisture did come up from the ground and did condensate on top, on the roof areas a little bit, but not bad at all. So I think with that amount of screenage, you could literally take this out, give you more room, and be more comfortable, especially for 2 people. The weight of the tent, it is not a backpacking tent. It is a car camping type tent. It's 9 pounds 8 ounces, or 4.4 kilograms. As far as the material, this is a polyester, and it is a 30 denier ultralight polyester that's been silicone coated. So that has proven to be pretty waterproof. We will find out when we do the rain test on it. The poles, the tent poles themselves, they're they're massive. They're definitely heavy duty. They are a 7001 or a 7001 aluminum alloy pole. They're pretty big diameter and they look pretty tough. Stakes, on the other hand, are just kind of the little groundhog type tent stakes, which aren't very big. So I think if you're going to do winter camping and that type of thing, you might want to upgrade those stakes to either a bigger stake or more of an ice type of a stake, a snow stake as they call them. All the guy lines, it did come with 6 guy lines, which they do have the areas for hooking the guy lines up on the outside to give it more durability in the wind. But it was pretty windy yesterday and this didn't move that much, so you probably could get away without them if it wasn't too bad. But if you knew a storm was coming in, definitely guy it out. It's going to make it a lot stronger. So hence I used 2 of the guy lines for the awning when I put it into the porch mode out in front, which is really nice, the porch mode. Water resiliency, they put it at 3,000 millimeters, which I could believe that, so it should be pretty good. So anyways, that's the basic. Oh, there is the length. The overall length of this tent is 19 feet 7 inches. And you do have this area here, which is kind of classified as a living room area, is 63 inches. And then in the sleeping area in the tent mesh, that is 59 inches. The overall height is 57 inches, which isn't bad for this size tent. I can't stand up in it, but I didn't expect to really stand up in it. That's a whole nother type of a tent when you want to stand up in them. So when it's folded down in its little pouch, the pouch itself is 20.5 inches wide, or long I should say. It is 20.5 inches long by 9 inches wide by 6.7 inches tall. So it packs down quite well for a car camping tent, mind you, for a car camping tent. Yeah, and that's pretty much the specs of this tent. My own personal reviews on it, as far as what I've written down that are my thoughts as far as the tent. It does have a lot of ventilation with the 2 vents in the sleeping area, and then the screen mesh on the main door and on this door behind me. You can open it up and really get good flow. And then on a non-buggy day, you could literally open up the back door and get really good cross ventilation in here. So yeah, so I think it has very good ventilation. Again, as far as room, it has plenty of room for 1 person with the sleeping net in here. If you took the sleeping net out, it'd be better for 2 people, I think. But very comfortable for 1. Could be more comfortable if you took the tent out. The stitching, like I said, I really looked it over really good this morning while I was getting up, and the stitching is very, very good. I mean, I didn't see any. I think there's 1 tag right here, but it's really not. It's like a wrinkle in the seam tape that I thought was a stitch, but it's not. So the stitching is awesome on this. There's no loose threads, nothing like that. Even around the screen areas where they've sewn the screens in, I didn't see a lot of loose threads in there. The seam tape is really good too. And pretty much everything that I can see that's double stitched on the tent itself is all seam tape. So that's a bonus. Like I say, it didn't leak with what rain that we had, but we really need to get out into a good rainstorm and really check it out, which we will do in the future. As far as, you know, area inside for cooking and whatnot, it's plenty. I mean, plenty. I've got a pretty good sized table here set up in front of me that I've got all my kitchen stuff on there. Plus I have a nice little side table over here that I can put stuff on, and I still have plenty of room for other things like, you know, gear and duffel bags and stuff like that. And then I was able to fit my one Tigress cot inside the sleeping area, so that worked out pretty good too. So yeah, plenty of space for cooking, relaxing, eating, all that good stuff. Tent wise, as far as setting it up, easy. I mean, you basically have 4 poles. You have 2 longer ones. The important thing is that there's the 2 poles that make up the dome area that do have a slight bend in the pole, and you want to make sure that slight bend is to the porch side. That's a big thing, and you can tell if you look at the little metal tabs at the front or by the porch area. The little tabs are a black tab, and then there is a corresponding black tip on the pole, so it's really not that hard to figure it out. So basically you have the 2 crossover poles to build the dome. Then you do have another long pole which actually extends out the bed area to give you more room in that area back there. Then there's 1 cross pole to give you good head height and good room inside the tent too. So really very easy to set up. I mean, it didn't, you know, once I got it opened up and looked at it, it didn't take long to figure it out. I do like the 3 entry doors. The only improvement on that, it would have been nice to see the mesh screen not only on these 2 doors, but also the back door. Would have been nice to see some mesh screen, but that's okay. I mean, you know, they're trying to be in a price point, which I think is very good. This is just under 300 bucks for the tent, and it's a hot tent. It's got the stove jack and everything all in it, so it's ready to have a wood stove in there. So yeah, for just under 300 bucks, yeah. And I didn't really get it on sale or anything. That's just what the price was on Amazon at the time of making this video. So yeah, I like the 3 entry doors. Just be nice to have screens on all 3. The porch mode, I really like porch modes when they put them on these tents. It really makes it nice because it gives you a nice little covered area if it's drizzling, or if you just want to get out of the sun. It's kind of handy to have a little area that you can sit in and still be outdoors and not in the rain or in the sun. So I like porch modes on the tents. Pretty much all the tents that I have that have porch modes, I use those probably the most of all of them. So a floor would be nice in here. Again, that's one of those, it'd be nice, but is it necessary? No. If you had a floor, I think that would have helped some of the moisture coming out of the ground, covering up. And you can do the same thing, just put a tarp down here. Yeah, if you did that, put a tarp down, it'd be fine. So a floor would be nice, not necessary, I don't think. As far as keeping bugs out, it's fine. Obviously, if you had a floor and whatnot, it would have made it a little more bug proof, but again, this is a hot tent, and typically hot tents don't have floors in them because you don't want to burn the floor if you're using a wood stove. So with that, that's pretty much all my thoughts. If you guys have got this tent and have used it, tell me some of your thoughts on the tent itself too. You know, put it in the comments down below. I'd like to hear your input on the tent too. But I really like the idea of a freestanding hot tent. You know, freestanding tents are definitely a lot easier to set up, and I just like the fact that you can set it up, and if you want to move it, you can. It's easy. Whereas with a typical hot tent where you stake it out, you got to remove all the stakes and everything, and that's kind of a pain in the neck. So I like the idea of a freestanding hot tent. I think I'll get a lot of use out of it. So anyways, my coffee's ready. I'm gonna drink some coffee and then start packing up and getting this video made for you guys. So anyways, we'll see you in a bit. since I've got everything all pretty much packed up, I thought I'd just kind of give you a little rundown on what gear I used on this little mini overnighter in my backyard. So we will start over in the back corner there. That's my Mr. Buddy heater, which works off propane gas. With this hot tent you could have used a wood stove too, but I chose just to use the Mr. Buddy heater because I didn't really need the heat. It was a pretty mild night. And then over here is my Thermarest Neo air mattress, which is very, very comfortable. It's an oversized one, so it fits my sleeping bag really well. And then over here is my Moonlance chair, and that's got telescoping legs so that you can actually make it taller if you want. And it's a wider one, which fits a big guy like me. So yeah, wider and taller if we want to be. And then my One Tigers cot, which I've used several times. And that was my Big Agnes sleeping bag, and that one happened to be the 0 degree. That's why I knew it wasn't going to have any issues with, you know, being too cold, because it's a warm sleeping bag. And the nice thing with that Big Agnes is the mattress pad just integrates right into the sleeping bag itself, which is nice. Then a couple of just LED lights that I used, that I took off Amazon, just give me some ambient light. And then my oversized table, and then my side table. I just got those. They're just a generic one off Amazon. They work nice. They're aluminum top, so they actually hold up real well, it seems to be. My Trangia cook kit, which I really love that. And then my ditty bag, which is all my odds and ends, you know, headlamps and all that good stuff. And this is my food bag, which has got silverware, coffee, all my stuff for cooking. And then this is my sleeping clothes and my pillow right there. And then that little bag there, that's my charging stuff to get my phone up to snuff. So anyways, I'm gonna get this stuff put away, and then we'll do a little walk around. I'll show you some of the features of this Naturehike Masif hot tent. I've already pretty much went over the specs when I was in the tent, so I'm just going to show you some of the features on the outside, and then we will turn and do some of the features on the inside that I think are pretty cool. First off, this is what I really like. I like the idea of a porch mode, because that gives you a nice area underneath to get out of the sun, rain, whatever. And unfortunately, the poles don't come with it. I actually used my One Tigers tent poles that I've got to stake it out. But yeah, and another nice feature too, I've got it rolled up right now, but you can see there is a screen mesh that I've got rolled up at the top here that actually covers this whole end here in screen mesh. So you can have this area here and have a nice ventilation or breeze through there, plus over by the entry door you have the nice ventilation too. You do have snow skirts all around the whole perimeter so that you can use it in the wintertime if you want, put snow so you can throw the snow on top of that if you'd like to. And you can see right here these guideposts or these tent poles, they are actually a pretty heavy duty tent pole there, which is nice. Each side of the tent has 6 guy out points for putting extra guy outs. You got one there, and one in the corner here. And then you have the same thing on the other side. And again, you can see the nice screen door, so you get good ventilation in the porch area. Also, you're going to have a vent, and you have two of these, one on each side of the tent, which is nice, with a little prop outs to hold the vent out for you. And then as we come around the back or the sleeping area, here's your third door, which I've got open now. So you have an area here for storing shoes, gear, whatever, in the little vestibule where it's not interfering with your living space, which is really kind of nice on that feature. You do have the 4 poles. You have the cross poles that are for the dome area, and then you do have this pole here, which is for holding the room out. And here again, you can see guy out point, and another guy out point right there. Then you also have the rafter brace, which pushes the top out, so it gives you more head height on the inside. And as you can see right here's the stove jack. I have not used that yet, but that's so you can put a wood stove in if you want to. And when you're not going to use the wood stove, you can just roll it right down and it's sealed off, so don't worry about the rain getting in there. So that's a nice feature too. So this really, I think, could be used year-round if you wanted to. Summertime might be a little warm, but again, you got plenty of ventilation, so maybe not. I guess we'll find out in one of our tests. So anyways, that pretty much covers the outside. All your stress points are all reinforced. So like around here, this area here, which is the stress points, reinforced, as well as where all your tie outs are, they're reinforced, which is nice. Oh, and I wanted to show you the pole here. This is the part that holds the pole in place. I don't know if you can see that or not, but this is actually a silver color, which has the silver tip on the pole right there, so that you just match it up that way, silver to silver. And then on the other side is black, so you have a black tip with a black buckle, and that's actually a metal buckle. That's not a plastic buckle or a grommet. And the problem with grommets, obviously, is they pull out very, very easily. So no grommets to deal with on this tent. That is really a nice feature. Again, you do have your regular G-clips to hold the body away from the tent. Stitching was awesome. All your doors do have weather flaps on there to cover the zippers up, keep the rain from getting into the zippers, which is a nice feature. So anyways, that covers the outside of the tent. Let's check out the inside. Let's get inside, crawl in here. And as you can see, you got a really nice vestibule area, or I would call this the living space, where you would have your wood stove, as your jack is right up there, so your wood stove would be there. You got room for a couple chairs, a little table if you want to. And then for summertime usage, you do have the mesh sleeping area, which is nice, and it's really easy to hook and unhook the mesh if you don't want to have the mesh in there, because I think it would open it up. It's just a buckle, a little plastic buckle, so it really makes it kind of nice. You just unbuckle it, and you don't need to take that with you. Then you got a nice big open tent area. Unfortunately, you don't have a floor, but you could bring a tarp of some type just to put down, help keep the moisture from coming up. Inside the sleeping area, you do have a couple of pockets. Got one on this side, as well as one on this side. So you got your nice little storage pockets in there. You do have a mesh door on here too, so you can open that up and get access to that vestibule area in there for your shoes, the gear, whatever. So you got more storage area, keeps out of the way of the living space, which is nice. And as you can see, there's your vent from the inside, so you get good ventilation that way. And looking to the back, again, you got your screen door area right there, as well as on the main entry door, which is nice. So very nice. Have another hook inside here for hanging a lantern, plus you do have one up in the middle of the tent too. So you got a place to hang a lantern if you would like. Well anyways, that about does it for this video. The Naturehike Masif hot tent. I like it. I like it a lot. I think I will use it quite a bit. I really do. Of all my tents, I think I like the versatility of being a freestanding hot tent. That really intrigues me. So I just think they set up a lot easier. So with that, if you like this kind of video, please hit the like and subscribe button. Also hit the notification bell so I can let you know when I upload more videos. And please share. That really helps getting my name out there and help me building the channel. Also, if you have any other comments as far as the Naturehike Masif hot tent goes, please leave them down in the comment areas. I like to read the comments. I think it's very nice. And you know, if you know something about this particular tent that I don't, please let me know what it is. So with that, this is Greg with the G. Bacher Adventure Chronicles, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a great day and happy camping, guys. Bye-bye.
Thank you.